at the Rebel Minded Festival with Paloma. I'm Katie Murphy. So how did you get into singing?
Well, it actually started as a writing process, and then my writing sort of turned into songs, and then I let my friend listen to it, and she was like, you know, this is pretty good.
And when did you begin your writing? When did you feel like that, you know, I could take this and, you know, I'm pretty good at this, you know, this could be something that I continue in the future?
Well, I always kind of had music in my head, so it just kind of came naturally. I didn't really force turning my poems into music. It was I would have a bunch of book of poems, and then one day I would hear a melody and I would go back to my book, and then I would say, hey, you know, I can kind of turn this melody in this poem and make an actual song. And then I would just play around on the computer.
And what's your favorite type of music to sing, or do you just try to, you know, do covers? Do you do your original songs?
I do mostly original songs. I just started trying, not really covers, but taking beats that I like of popular songs and then rewriting them and making my own songs. So that's kind of it helps me with my sort of developing my songwriting skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're from Long Island, me too. So was there any inspirations in your music that we hear about Long Island, or just about in general, you know, you live in Uniondale, so anything about high school or growing up there?
I would say my main influence as far as Long Island would be the suburban feel of Long Island, and that sort of in a way isolated feel. We're not really like the city. We're not really very closed. There's not really you know, a lot going on all the time. It's very isolated, and individuals have their own sort of cliques and groups that they stick to. So I would say that sort of that feeling, I think, permeates my music.
And do you still live in Long Island, or do you live? Okay, and do you ever have plans of living in the city?
I want to go to LA. I want to skip the city entirely and then go to LA.
And is straight singing, that's what you want to do there, or did you want to get into acting or anything like that?
I don't want to be an actor. I want to be a singer.
You have such a nice name to be an actress.
We already have Paloma Picasso, so she can do that for me.
Yeah. So you want to move to LA. So your goal right now is just to get your music out there. How do you perform? Do you have certain venues that you go to? How do you find your festivals?
Well, right now it's just kind of I'm just letting things come naturally. Okay. I've always been a big believer in never forcing things, and sort of letting the natural order of your life just flow. So, you know, if someone invites me to a festival because they saw me someplace, I'll go. But I'm not I need to do, you know what I'm saying? You know, going out there and putting myself out there so much, because I'm a little selfish with my music. I like to keep it to myself until I'm good and ready, you know?
That was going to be my next question, if you had a manager, or are you working solely by yourself?
I'm as underground as they get.
Okay, perfect. So we're at the Rebel Minded Festival, so we want to know what a rebel means to you.
A rebel to me is not so much somebody who decides to go against society, but someone who actually decides to become themselves and to be comfortable with being themselves. Because I feel the whole point of, you know, being yourself is that you are a unique person. There's nobody in the history of all history that's ever going to be like you. So choosing to be that unique self, to me, is a rebel against everybody else who's conforming to being the whole, the same. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a real rebel.
And where can we listen to your music? Do you have a YouTube channel? I know you said you like to keep things to yourself, but for people that want to hear you sing.
Soon. I don't have anything.
Nothing right now.
Off the grid.
Are you going to work on it? Are you going to try to put yourself out there a little bit?
I'm working on it in the next year. I'm gonna make my way out there.
Okay.
It's in the plan.
All right. Sounds good to me. So can't wait to hear more from you. All right.